열이 지금 들받는 것 같아요.
Okay, I see a lot of excitement in the front, but not enough all the way back there.
제가 이 자리에 이제 올라온 것은 소개를 한번 하려고 올라왔어요.
I'm just here to introduce our next speakers.
사실
그냥
올해가
한국말 하니까.
오늘 처음 사회를 하다 보니까 정신이 없어요.
So you know this is Jorge's first event. So he's like, okay.
그러다 보니까 다음 순서가 누군지 헷갈려서 나를
We
소개한다.
were just a bit confused as to who's supposed to come next. So, you know,
그 뜻은 뭐냐면 내가 소개를 해라 이렇게 소개를 하는 것 같더라. 내가 다음 사람을 소개하라고 나를 부르는 것 같아.
I think I'm here to introduce to you the next person.
사실 미국에서 미국 퓨어가 자리 잡게 한 가장 중요한 역할을 한 분이에요.
So the next person is someone that played a crucial role in making sure that Live Pure put down some good, strong roots in the United States.
첫 번째 크라운 다이아몬드로
He was the first crown diamond.
언제나 여러분들의 성공을 돕는 분입니다. 언제나 여러분들의 성공을 간절히 원하는 분이에요.
He is always rooting for your success.
그리고 그 성공이 여러분의 성공으로 이어졌으면 좋겠고요.
And I pray every day that his success turns into your success.
나의 친구 제로드 번에서 소개하도록 하겠습니다.
I'm going to introduce to you my friend, Darren Barnett.
웰컴!
All right. Excited to be here? Welcome to all of our U.S. IBOs. I know Jorge welcomed everybody from all the different states around the U.S. So welcome. Welcome to our family from Korea. Give them a hand. Thank you for flying all the way. And to Heather and I's team from Thailand. Thank you for coming all the way. So, for those of you that maybe maybe this is your first time here, you may not have heard Heather and I's story, but we found Pure, I honestly don't know how long ago it was. They recognized everybody for 10 plus years, so over 10 years ago, Pure. And we were small business owners, struggling financially, had a failing traditional small business, facing bankruptcy. Life was very bleak, and Pure came into our lives. And honestly, it didn't seem like it was the right time. And so a lot of times, opportunity or things come into your life when it's not convenient, because we were dealing with a lot of things. And so, but that's the way life works sometimes. And so you've got to be able to be paying attention when God brings things to you. And so we took a look at this, and we loved everything that we saw. And that's one of the things I'm going to share with you, because Jorge asked me to talk about what is the great, the DNA of a great company. What does a good company look like? Because I believe that a lot of people, especially here in the United States, don't really know even what to look for in a good opportunity. People, they hear about a product, or they like it, or their friend joins something, and they just get involved. And so they truly don't know how to evaluate if something is even a good deal or not. And so Heather and I, we had been in direct sales before. We had made some money. And we had actually experienced some failure in that too. And until you know, those of you that are entrepreneurs will understand this. Until you've been kicked in the teeth a few times, you really don't know what to look for. But when you've been kicked in the teeth a few times and you've had some failures in life, then you kind of know what to look for and you know some of the questions to ask. And when we evaluated Pure, everything that we saw, we loved. And today, a lot of those things are even more true than they were then. But Heather and I went to work with Pure. And we went out sharing this. And we went from struggling financially on the verge of bankruptcy to earning 6 figures our first year. We paid off over $300,000 in debt in our first 2 years in Pure. Yes. And after 4 years, we were earning over $1 million a year with Pure. After 5 years, they paid us over $2 million. And to date, they've paid us well over $20 million in commissions, and it's changed our lives forever. Forever. And so, no one can tell you this doesn't work. Okay, but they can ask you this question: do you work? The question is not if this works. The question is, do you work? One of the things that a mentor taught me early on is he said, you can find out what successful people do, and you can duplicate what they're doing, and you will get the same or similar results. And I found that to be true, guys. I'm a student of success before anything else. I study what successful people do. We apply that, and we've had tremendous success. But here's what I want to tell you about the things to look for in a company and how you can know you're at the right place and how you can hopefully know that you're a part of something that's not just good, but that is special and unique. And so here's the things that even today, as an investor, here's some of the things that I look for in a good company or a great company. Number one is I look at the company and the leadership, or the ownership. And I can tell you with Pure, we're rock solid. We're rock solid financially with our owners, our investors, absolutely. Incredible leadership. But more importantly than when we looked at this was that they do the right thing. Here, what I love about Mr. Jung is he's always done the right thing. He's never taken shortcuts as long as I've been here, in 10 plus years. He's never made exceptions for certain people. There's people in our industry that will come in and, they claim to have made all this money and they've been in 30 companies. And they'll meet with Mr. Jung and they'll say, well, if you'll write me a check, I'll come to your company and I'll bring a lot of people. He's never done that, not one time. Because he believed from day one that if we have something special and if what we have is good, we will attract the right people. Number two is our product. That's the second thing that I look at. I believe that that's why the majority of you guys are here, is because of the Pure products. It's the engine that drives the machine. But what I really believe about that engine and that machine, our products, we have the best engine in the world. We have a Ferrari engine. And a lot of you guys don't know how to drive it. I'm being real. Because if you knew how to drive it, your results and your success would be way beyond what you have right now. We want to teach you how to drive it, right, leaders? You're not going to find a product line like this anywhere in the world. In our profession in direct sales, retail, certainly not on Amazon.com. You're not going to find it. The business model. I call it the ultimate leverage business model. This compensation plan can take you from point A to point B financially faster than any business in the world that I've seen. And I know that because not only have I experienced it myself, but I'm also an investor in other businesses, I own other companies, and I see everything. There's nothing like this business that can change your life in 2 to 4 years if you will apply yourself. The next thing I look for in a company is are there systems in place? And at Pure, we've attracted a lot of world-class leaders that are sitting out here in the front, the President's Council here in the US, Korea, Thailand. And these leaders, we have put systems in place for people to follow. And where literally all you have to do is follow the leader. Paint by numbers, just follow the game plan. And it shocks me every day when people come into Pure and they want to come out with a system and they haven't made $5,000 yet in Pure. So we have world-class systems. And then the timing. I want to tell you guys this, and I want everybody to leave this weekend understanding this, is that the timing right now is better than ever. Our company and any company in the world, you can go look at whether it's Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, or go look at Pure. And if you look at the history of the growth of that company, you're going to see peaks and valleys, periods and waves of growth and then settling, waves of growth and then settling. Am I right? Well, here's what you need to understand about our industry, about this profession. It is counter-cyclical. You may not have heard that term before. I had never heard it before until about 12 or 13 years ago when I was getting started in Pure. And someone that has been doing this longer than me, way more successful than me, told me this. He said, Jared, this industry's counter-cyclical. And he said, when the economy's good, people buy our products. And we've seen that over the last 2 or 4 years. We get a lot of people that just buy our products. And they're not here this weekend, they're at home, but guess what they're going to do? Their auto ship's going to process next week or the next week. And they buy our products. But guess what? In a down economy, people join and build our business. And so right now, and what I've seen just in the last 6 to 8 weeks, the conversations that I've had with people at a table or on a Zoom, people are open right now, more than they have been in the last 5, 7, 8 years, to building a business and making money and doing something different. Because did you know, there's a lot of people out there right now in this economy that 2 years ago were earning more than they are right now. Or the cost of living, or interest rates. All these things are real. And they impact the economy. Well, there's never been a better time. Right now is the time. But you need to know that. Because you need to know that because if you don't talk about or tell people there's an opportunity, they're never going to join your team as a brand partner. And we love customers. I want as many customers as we can build. But understand that the timing is incredible right now. So here's when you hear our story, Heather and I's story, what I want you to understand is this, is we want this type of success for everyone. And these leaders, Mr. Jung said that, he said, you're going to be the President's Council up here. All of these leaders, they want this for you. A lot of times we want it for you more than you want it for yourself. We want you to win. We want you to be successful. And so, I want to give you a few things because I don't want to leave you with just what I think about the company or sharing my success. That's great. It validates everything. For those of you that are here for the first time or maybe heard my story for the first time, it validates. This is real. It's very real. But I want to leave you with a few things. And so I thought about this and I said, I've never done this. I want to share how to not be successful in Pure. How to make a little bit of money or no money How to not be successful in here. Is that okay if I share that? Okay, number one. I think I've got 8 or 9 things here. Number one, be the Lone Ranger. Because you know everything, and your way is always the best. Be the Lone Ranger. Try to go about this on your own. See how far that gets you. You know, the leaders have heard me talk about building this business a lot of times. It's like climbing Mount Everest. You wouldn't go climb Mount Everest on your own. You know, I have a goal to climb Mount Everest one day. And there's a Sherpa over there. I can't even remember the name of the country in those mountains, Tibet maybe. And he's taking people to the top of Mount Everest. He's taking blind people to the top of Mount Everest. I want to go with that guy. Right? He's never lost one person and he's been to the top. I want to go with that guy. But if you want to, guess what? We will gladly, these leaders aren't going to force you to do anything. You know, that's one of the only problems with Pure is you're an independent business owner. So we're not going to call you and make sure you show up for work. You have to have that internal drive. You got to have that. You'll hear us talk about your reason, your why, your purpose that drives you. I'll tell you this, my first year, I had a about 5 note card that sat on my nightstand every night, 365 days. I would look at my goals when I went to sleep. I would look at them when I woke up. And nothing else really mattered. I was consumed with building this business. I was obsessed with building this business. And one of my mentors taught me, he said, you know what? The only unhealthy obsession is an obsession of something that's unhealthy. He said, sometimes it's good to go all in. And I did, and it changed our life forever. We did that for a period of time so that we could change our lives. Okay, we're talking about how not to be successful. Number 2, try lots of things and switch up your strategy every couple weeks. Just try lots of different things, and if it's not working after about a week, call your leader and say, this isn't working. And then try a lot of different things. You see, that happens a lot. People will call me and say, well, Jared, I talked to all these people and here's what they're telling me. Man, this ain't working. I said, well, how many people did you talk to? 2? And so then we're so quick to change, or let me tell you something what I've learned. An average strategy worked every day for 2 years will be a great strategy that's not worked very consistently. An average strategy worked every day for 2 years. Just show up. Just show up. Put the reps in. And I'll say this, it's bringing to mind things as I'm going through this. Treat everything you do in this business as a learning experience. Don't get tied to the results. Treat every appointment, every phone call as a learning experience. What am I going to learn from that, and how am I going to get better? Jim Rohn said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Number 3, work really hard for a few days, then take a week off. Then come back and work really hard for a few days. Listen, I'll bet on the person that can only put 1 or 2 hours a day into this 5 days a week, but they do it every week for 52 weeks. I'll bet on that person all day long. And I've got people, they'll come on board and they will work hard, 8-10 hours a day, burning up the phone, calling people. Man, they are all in, and then they're gone. You don't know where they are. They're in the IBO Witness Protection Program. They disappeared. They're off the reservation. Then they show back up. It's very hard. This business is like building muscle or losing weight in the gym. It's a consistency game. Here's number 4. Some of these made me laugh. Consume at least 2 to 3 hours a day of social media. Just be a consumer of social media. If you get bored, just scroll. And listen to lots of mainstream media and believe all of it. Guys, we live in the most distracted era in human history. The most distracted time ever in human history. And if you can learn how to unplug from the matrix, unplug from all of that, because a lot of it is just designed to keep you distracted or to keep people divided. And so even stuff you agree with and you're like, man, that's really good. It's a distraction. I gauge myself on social media. I say, am I creating content or am I consuming content? I don't even know what people are out there posting. I get on social media and I'm posting, creating, checking my DMs, because I'm using social media for business. That is my goal. Now, part of that is, and someone's going to get up here and train that knows a lot more about social media than I did. Part of that is doing things on there that are entertaining or funny or this or that to get those people to be engaged with you. But what I'm telling you is, if you're spending 2-3 hours a day just scrolling, consuming, not only are you wasting time, but you are causing a major distraction up here in your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, which is where success lies. You're programming yourself. We're always being programmed. Are you programming yourself to win? Are you programming yourself to fail? Number 5. As soon as you enroll someone as a brand partner, you just drop them and immediately start looking for the next brand partner that you can sign up. And especially on a big package so I can make a big commission. Then I'm going to look for the next one. If you want to, I'm telling you how to not win in pure. You want to be successful? Listen, when Heather and I became the #1 income earners, they ran a report and they said, what do they do different? We didn't sign up the most people. I wish I was better at that, at personally enrolling people. I've personally enrolled people in the last month. I personally have people I enrolled that are here at this event, but I'm not the best. There's people that are a lot better than that. We don't always sign up people on the biggest package. I try to. I think it's best for them. But again, starting a new person is all about what's best for them, not what's best for me. And so I want to position them to win, to be successful, but I'm not the best at. But I tell you what I'm really good at. I don't know if I'm the best, but I'm really good. And especially in the beginning, is when I got a brand new person that just became a brand partner, they made an investment, my list would go back in the drawer, not for a week, not for a month. Well, how long? I put my list back in the drawer, I just enrolled that new person, and everything stops. And my goal is to help that person get 2 people. I want to help them win. I'm going to do everything, I'm going to move heaven and earth to try to help that person win. But if they're not ready to start talking to people today and tomorrow, I'll pull my list back out. And I'm going to contact someone else. But if you want to, not succeed in Pure, just treat it like a sign-up game. Had a girl down in Alabama, and I'm not picking on Alabama. My wife went and watched the Volunteers beat the Alabama in football, went up to Knoxville. She said, y'all put on a pretty crazy football game up there, but I had this girl in Alabama, southern Alabama. And man, she thought this was a sign-up game. And she signed them up. Every day she's signing more people up. Just signing up. And talking opportunity and people investing to start a business every day. She's the best there's ever been in playing a sign-up game. She's not here today. She didn't build anything. She made a lot of commissions by enrolling a lot of people, but she never helped anyone. She never stopped and said, okay, I'm going to help that person go get there first too. There's power in that. And when you start to understand that, then you'll really start to see the magic in your business. That this is about helping other people. Here's another one. If you want to not succeed in building a big income, only talk about products and health. And you can add to that and make a lot of medical claims too. And exaggerate everything. Right, Rachel? Listen, if you don't tell people that there's an opportunity that they can make money, I'm going to tell you this, someone else will. And they'll end up on someone else's team. So show people the business. Show people an opportunity. You don't know what people are praying for. You don't know what they're going through. And we as humans, we have a horrible habit of prejudging people and looking and evaluating their lives, and you think that they don't need something like this or want something like this. Oh, that person, they're just going to be a customer. Well, you don't know. Let them decide. That's why I like to show people the whole menu. Let them choose. I show them period. Everything. Company, product, business model, system, time. I show them the whole thing. And then they can tell me what they want. If they want to be a customer, I'm going to get you set up as products. And I'm going to honor, respect you as a customer and treat you with great customer service. You see an opportunity. How do you know if they're interested in an opportunity? Usually they don't just come right out and tell you, I want to build this business. Here's how you know. They start asking questions about income or compensation, or they're interested. Here's another way to fail. Only worry about you and your rank and your check. Just focus on that. Just worry about you and your rank and your check and what you need to do to hit this rank, this pay period, this month, this week. Listen, it's okay to strive and set goals. I'm not telling you not to do that. That's good. But if that's all you're worried about, I'm telling you, you're not going to win. You're not going to be president's counsel. You're certainly not going to build one of these top-level incomes like these leaders have. You see, our comp plan is set up, you have to help other people win. You want to go diamond? You go help 2 people get to ruby. You go focus on 2 people, one on your left, one on your right, and say, I'm going to help someone on my left go ruby. I'm going to help someone on my right become a ruby. You'll go diamond. You'll build a big income. This is a who can you help business. Here's the last one. A lot of people don't think this matters. But you know what? If you don't want to succeed, just eat whatever you want and never exercise. Do you think that what we put in our bodies, not just pure products, but food, do you think that what we eat, consume, what we put in our bodies has anything to do with us becoming successful? Or getting active and working out? I know it does. I got sick recently, and I had about 6 or 7 days where I couldn't work out. And it wasn't physically what bothered me, it was up here. I was off my game mentally. I was not as motivated. So what we put in our bodies, and also get active. It's all connected. Mind, body, spirit. It's all connected. And some people will never truly believe that. And so they try to compartmentalize everything. You know, those are the people, leaders, those are the people on your team that, you know, they'll be on the Zoom if they have someone to invite. Or if the person that they invited showed up, they'll be on that Zoom. But if they invited 2 or 3 people and can't get on, they don't need to be on there and listen. Because they don't think that one little thing matters. You know, my wife says this all the time. How you do anything is how you do what? Everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. Success leaves clues. And I'm not talking about being perfect. That's not what I'm talking about. Because I will tell you this, I know all these leaders and they have flaws, trust me. We do. Heather and I have flaws and vices, and all these other leaders do too. And so it's not about being perfect, but it's about getting better every day and striving for that. So, two last things, and then I'm done, because my time is about up. You know, I want to speak to couples that are here building this business, because 9 times out of 10, you know, if you're married or have a spouse, significant other, usually one of you primarily is the one that saw this, pours time into it, and builds this as a business. Sometimes the other spouse will jump in and help or even build it at the same level. But that's usually not the case. Sometimes it is, that's awesome. But find your role and find how you can support and be the biggest cheerleader for your spouse. Male or female, doesn't matter. You know, but I do believe this. You know, I do believe there's some principles that you can live by that attract success. You know, there's some things that Heather and I try to do just because we believe that supernaturally we will attract success into our life. And so a couple of different things that I'll leave you with as I'm done here. With couples that are building this, you know, men, I'll speak to the men first. Men, this is just one simple word, lead. Our world right now is starving for masculine male leadership. Lead. And that might not be in Pure. Your wife may be building a Pure business, and I'm not telling you to be the leader in Pure. That may be her deal. You support. But just as a man and as a family unit, lead. Women. Heather and I strongly believe this. Your first role before Pure is being a good wife, and then a mother, and then building a Pure business. And if you follow that, you're going to supernaturally attract more success. You're going to have more favor. And then lastly, this is a people business. Someone just got up and walked out. They said, oh no. That's the hardest thing about this business. Am I right, leaders? This is a people business. And so, again, your ability to build a team and leadership is going to be determined on your ability to work with people. And it's hard. And the higher up you go and the more successful you become, the harder it gets. And so what I've learned is I try to live by a code. Okay? And I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but I've thought I would just give you these 3. And again, I'm not perfect. Plenty of flaws. And I've made lots of mistakes. And all these leaders have. The key is how fast do you own up to it? When you make a mistake and you're working with people, own it right away. And I'm sorry is not good enough, but it's followed up with, I was wrong. It's called extreme ownership. And I'm going to try to not do that again. And you're going to mess up. If you're not messing up, you're not trying. You're not doing anything. But I try to live by a code. And so I've got 3 things here. And I believe as I live by this code, God has brought us supernatural success. Not because we're perfect. And Heather and I, we talk about and share our faith a lot. And that's cool. And that's cool to do that in this business. But also know that, you know, if you don't believe like I do, that's okay. I'll respect your belief, you respect mine. You know, we live in a world today where we can't even have dialogue or people get offended, right? But I want to respect you, you respect my faith. Everybody's welcome in purity. Everybody's welcome. So here's the 3 things, 3 of the most important things of this code that I try to live by. Is number 1, assume and believe the best about people. I try to always do that. My wife will tell you, probably to a fault. Assume and believe the best about people, but you know what? It's a lot easier way to live. Number 2, never operate or make big decisions out of fear. A lot of times I see people, they're making decisions or doing things and they're just considering too much. They're afraid out of fear. And then I'll have to remind them, you know, you say you have the same faith I believe, or I have. Well, it says, fear not, 365 times in the book. Fear not. So when you're making decisions in business and relationships and life, don't do anything out of fear. If you're going to go this direction because we're fearful, you should probably go the other direction. Number 3, treat people better than they deserve. And so you can probably see where I get this code out of. You know, I try to live by this because this is what the person that I follow, the way they live. If you study their life, the King of Kings. Always believe the best about people. Never operated out of fear, right? And treated people way better than they deserve. And so guys, if you do that, you plug in here, you be consistent, you follow these leaders and what they're teaching, and you believe in you, because we believe in you. And we want it for you more than you want it for yourself. And we plan on you being a diamond. We plan on you being on that president's council. And we plan on seeing you in Greece next year on that trip. Thank you guys.